Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this Studio Series 86 Constructicons video update, that's exactly what this is going to be. So yeah, first and foremost, I did make a couple of mistakes in the combining mode. I'm going to correct them and show you that in this video. And I'm also, of course, going to thank you guys for all of your suggestions, all of the questions that you've asked, and hopefully cover them in this particular video. And again, of course, I need to thank Hasbro and Indemand Toys for the early access of these. And because of that, that is why I don't have Bone Crusher or Scrapper either. I've returned them, unfortunately, so I can't do any more of the combined mode. I can bring in one of Menasaw's legs to give us a sort of idea, but in honesty I don't actually have them. So in answer to a few of the questions in robot mode, first and foremost, yes, this is, as I say, really securely clicked in. It is very much so. Yes, these are ball and socket joints and they only come up to about there. The fists again do have a bit of a gap there, but these will spin all the way around. And yes, correct, there is no waist swivel on him. Oops, there is also no waist swivel on this guy either, and again, it's probably due to the combined modes. I can't give you the answer for that. I know I've been asked a couple of times, I just do not know. I'm just confirming for you guys that there is not a base mode. Right, with regards to, not a base mode, sorry, there is not a waist swivel. With regards to this, that's why I said base mode. To my knowledge, there is nothing in the instructions that I can find which will confirm that. Whether or not there's a fan-made mode, I don't know. Yes, we can use these can be handheld by either bot. Before we get there, actually, before I forget, near enough again, yes, you can take Hook's crane off like so. You can't take this out of here, but he can use this or utilize it as a weapon if he wants to. And of course, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to take it off for Devastator, and indeed I think maybe you can use it for any other weapon as well for the other people, because it is a 5mm port, so you can use it or utilize it like that if you wanted to. So yes, you can remove the crane off Hook. Anyway, back to this. I believe that yes, you will be able to attach these to the vehicle modes of the ones that I don't have. Again, very much like the powered up modes in the original Generation 1 figures. And with regards to this, as I say, I think it is, guys, I think it just genuinely is the midsection. So you do need to fold them over like so. And then, as I say, if I just set these hip skirts free from here. So this first part of the video is this. It's the robot modes. That is so well stuck in. It really is, honestly. It actually hurts trying to prise it off. Then we're going to do quickly alternate modes, and then of course we're going to go to the combined modes. Now I have had a play around with this. I cannot see or think of anything that would, you know, make a base mode. I'm not too sure. You could perhaps make something similar, you know, like to what Silverbolt's got. Silverbolt does have the kibble and they can stand behind it and use it as a base mode, but it's definitely, as far as I'm concerned, not supposed to be for that. Although no, there's no way you can attach any ports or anything on there either. So unfortunately I do think it is, yeah, literally just as you can see, it's the waist, it's the groin basically, guys. It literally is the groin. I can't think of anything else that you could do with it. No, I think that's pretty much answered the robot and indeed the questions on this part for now. Let's go to alternate modes before going to the final combined mode. Okay, so onto alternate modes. To be honest, you haven't really asked many questions regarding these, but once again, of course, you can lift this, you can take it off. This part does also move to the side as well. Not that it makes too much of a difference. That is mainly just for the combining mode, but it can be moved from that side. Yes, this is the head. And again, you can make out it's at the back, but you know, it's not too blatantly obvious. Once again, I need to remind you all that these are early production samples, and you can see, for instance, my little clips there don't always fit in. But again, I think that could be down to the fact that, as I've just said, these are, as we all know, these aren't supposed to be out yet, and I've just got early access to them. So with regards to them, I think people asked about that, but you can see that it will, and I imagine it should fit nice and snugly into that particular port right there. But I have tried to apply pressure, but for obvious reasons I don't want to break it. Again, you can take that off, you can move it. Yes, you can't really do anything with this. I've got to hold my hands up. This is what I forgot in the combined mode. In fact, I can't even lift it up, but I will show you it in a second. But as far as this, can you make it deeper? Can you take anything out of it? Unfortunately, no, you can't. And again, even in the robot mode, even though I didn't mention it, it was asked. As you can see, this is completely fused. There is no movement with that, so you can't fold it under, you can't adjust it, you can't move it at all. You can, of course, attach the trailer into the back there, and I think, as I say, that was pretty much about it. You can attach these to the side of this, which makes it look rather strange, but you know, it's been asked, so I suppose I better answer it. And you know, you can, as I say, sort of power up these with the weapons. That was something they did in G1 and people weren't too sure about. Obviously it's not supposed to go there. You can of course put like missile launchers on the side as well. There's a lot of fun to be had with it, and of course it is just combiner kibble. And again, you don't need this apart from the combining mode. It is just the back to it, whereas at least with Motormaster, of course, it was his trailer. So I think that's covered the combining mode, sorry, the alternate modes. I need to, as I say, just get them ready for combining, and I'll show you the bits that I missed out. We'll have a look at the head in a bit more detail, and we'll check and see if there's waist rotation. Okay then, so onto the combining, and yes, as I say, this is where I hold my hands up. I did make a couple of mistakes. First thing, let's have a quick look at hook. And yes, the head, as you say, it does come out of there, and it can come out that little bit further, so it can come right out like this. So again, that's totally my bad. I didn't bring it all the way out. I didn't realize it'd come as far forward as that. I just lifted it up and sort of left it there, but it does come. There's an extra hinge hidden inside there. Bring it forward and clip that down. Again, I'm going to take this off and stuff in a second. What I think I'm going to need to do now though is just quickly adjust this up here. So here's the main, I suppose, yeah, it's the extra combiner kibble. Now with this, there's a couple of things, as I say, that I didn't do. So this, first and foremost, this with the hips, that is exactly as it goes. You can't move this anymore. You do need this swung all the way down, and it does have to go that low. There's nothing more that you can do with that once it's there. What I did fail to do though, guys, was bring this over and tab this in. Now this, funnily enough, makes it even more sturdy. So all the points that I was pointing at when it was combined, that just makes extra security, that everything is holding in nice and tight. Also, I didn't tab these teeny little bits in here either as well. So what I mean by that is, if you watch this, we're now going to reattach this to the top, on top of here, like so. Oh, that's just come apart. Typically push that into place, bring this over the top, that's going to clip in, and then now you can see that if I bring this underneath, that is now going to hold into the back of there as well. So I did miss that, guys. I apologize. Hold my hands up straight away. I missed that. This needs to straighten up, and then, as I say, what we're going to do is connect everything to the top. Have a look what it looks like with and without the hook. And as I say, this will be more tabbed in now because we've got all of these as well. These should all line up. So let's have a look at this. As I said, this tab here is going to line up into the back. I don't think I've missed any of the other tabs out. That's going to go in there. This is going to come into the top like so. Did that click in? This is going to come around the side like so. That should go into this grey bit here, should go into Hook's feet. So again, this is probably one of the little bits that I missed. I think I was just really lucky with how it all popped in last time. That's gone in there, no problem that time. And then this one just needs to, let's have a quick look around where it's missing or where it's going wrong. It's trying to go in fact, that should go up there, I think, and then this bit is going to go into the back right underneath on this. Right, let me just spin this round so you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, what I was doing wrong, I had this the wrong way around, and there's more points of security on here, or more stability. So there is a cutout under there, and there's an extra tab there. So what I need to do is rotate, keep the wheel there, rotate that. This, first and foremost, this black tab is going to fit into there, and this black tab is going to fit into that cutout under there. So ironically enough, as I say, yes, I missed these out, but funnily enough, that's going to make this guy even more sturdy. And I know that lots of people, as I say, were wanting to know that it's a million times more sturdy than pretty much any of the combiners we've had, apart from Menasor up until now. So what I was going to say, anything pre-Legacy. Right, this is quite awkward, as you can see, but I'm going to get it done, and then I'm going to show you the articulation on him. Right, there we go, and then line that up into Hook's chest. There we go. So you've got the extra part there. So as I say, that is all much more solid. That is all tabbed in there. You've got all these extra bits in, which is great. Let's just quickly attach all these. And yes, I do wish obviously that I had the others, and again, if I do get access to them, I'll do what I did again. I'll do updated videos each time, give you guys enough time to ask me questions to be able to do things. That's something that if you're new to the channel, you won't know, but that's something I've done forever. You know, this channel's for you guys as well, and I want to give you as many answers as I can to the questions that you're asking. So even if I'm not as quick as replying anymore, because due to the severe number that I'm getting, it's struggling to keep up, but I am quickly going through them all again, just to make sure that I'm covering all bases for everybody. Right, why isn't that going in there? There we go. So again, if you want a quick shake test, it's even more sturdy. So let's look at the articulation. So the head, as I say, it doesn't really look up and down. If you lift that up, it will lift that again, and that's the mistake I was making. So you can just spin it around, to be honest. This is the big news. There is, look, there is a waist swivel. There is a full waist, well, there's not a full, there is an actual waist swivel rather. It is restricted by this kibble at the back, but there is an actual waist swivel there, which again, I know a load of people wanted to know. If you move the hip skirts, you can kick up to there. It's restricted on the back. You can obviously go to the side. There is your thigh cut swivel, and these are going to be your knees as well, which again is pretty important. I also, if I remember correctly, people wanted to have a look at it with this knot on as well, so you can again gauge what you think it looks like so. There's no point even putting that there, to be honest, guys, to give you an idea, because this is obviously balanced onto a whole extra bit, so it wouldn't give you the full idea of size. But I think I've pretty much covered everything that everybody's asked on this, and as I say, I've even corrected myself, and again, yeah, I did make a couple of mistakes, but there you go. Hopefully that's been a bit more informative for you. And yes, I'm the same as you. I cannot wait to see the fully combined mode. Hope this helps anyway. Take care.